Hello guys, so in this video we're going to be tackling a huge project on this Ford Ranger 2003 3.0 6 V6. Okay, so the problem I'm having with this car is that it's shaking like crazy. Shaking like crazy at idle. Shakes like crazy. While driving, the crazy part is it doesn't shake while I'm accelerating. And so it's very weird. When I have full throttle, it doesn't shake at all. So what I've done is I've changed the spark plugs, I changed the coils, and I changed a bunch of other stuff like EGR valve, another valve by the gas tank. I've changed, idle air control. I've changed a bunch of stuff, a million things on this car. The coil pack, hoping that'll work, and it hasn't. And so I've seen a couple of videos now about a recessed valve. Apparently these vehicles, the block is very like soft, so the valve over time just kind of banging into that block just smushes it until it creates a seal where air can get out. And so the problem I'm having is when I checked compression on all 6 valves, I had one valve that stood out from the 6. So actually, before I did that, I went to my coil pack. It's misfires while it's sitting at idle, so the engine's shaking. The crazy part is I'm not getting a code, so what I did was I came to the coil pack and I started unplugging these. And what happened is I unplugged number 1 and the car had no difference. I put it back and I unplugged number 2 and the car had a significant difference. So I did that with all of them, and all of them had significant difference in engine shake and idle and everything except number 1. So that already pointed me to cylinder number 1 was having the issue. And so when I did check compression, I was having 120 PSI on that one consistently. So I did a leak down test, which is you spray, you put oil. Does not to spray. You put good amount of oil into the cylinder, which that covers the seals in the cylinder for the piston, and that should, if you are having a piston problem, close the air gap. When I checked the compression again, no difference. So for me, my problem is not from my piston. It's most likely coming from the valve itself. It could be the valve, or it could be the valve body gasket. And I already know it's not the valve body gasket because my coolant does not have oil in it. Coolant does not have oil in it. It's kind of low, but does not have oil. I changed the oil recently. It wasn't anything suspicious. I don't have air coming out of this when the car is running. So there's multiple ways to check if your gasket has a crack or something. So for me, I know it's not that. So I'm leaning more towards the recessed valve. So that's gonna take me taking off everything on top just to get to the valve body. And what you do after that is you take it to a machine shop or you get a new valve body. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do from there, but I'm gonna put the spark plug back in so you guys can see the shake. And I'm gonna try to move it over there to the driveway so I can have a better area to work on it, and I'll be taking it apart these next few days, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys. On to the next one. Okay, now that all the spark plugs are back in and the coils are connected, I'm gonna fire it up so you guys can see the shake. Let me know. You guys can see it's really loud. That's because you come over here, it likes to ride the RPMs really high, almost like it has a vacuum leak, like a hose or something, but it's the valve for sure. Yep. So let's get that valve body off. Okay guys, so this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to take out the valve body of a Ford Ranger 2002 3.0 engine V6. So we're going to do this nice and slow. I'm going to take out a couple of, hoses and a bunch of things on top. So when I come back tomorrow, it's a little more open. I can just dive right in and start tearing it down. So let's do that now. Let's take off a couple of things. Okay guys, so we're gonna continue where we left off. We're taking apart the engine. So as you can see, I already got the intake manifold off. I got the hose here that goes into the throttle. I disconnected a couple of hoses and connectors. So next, I'm gonna try to take off this fuel line so I can get the injectors out the way and take out the belt so we can get this alternator off, because I'm only going to be doing this left side. I don't want to touch this right side. I'm just going to leave it how it is. Hopefully I can take everything out as is, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get on with it. Took off the serpentine belt, but I had to do it off camera. You see, you just gotta put a wrench on the tensioner, rotate it, and you can take it off this pulley right here. That's pretty much it. Let's keep going. run it so that people know. Alright guys, there goes the exhaust bolts out. So next we're gonna take off the valve head cover and the exhaust manifold bolts that are these hex screws. Let's do it. cylinder 1, 2, and 3. So I was having compression problems on this one. So let's try to figure that one out.